Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Shawnie, the head of marketing and partner marketing at Kiflo. Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining. Please tell us, what is Kiflo?
Well, Kiflo is the PRM software that grows with you. We are one of the most intuitive, customizable PRMs on the market, and one of the most user-friendly. And I think that is because we are an extremely people-centric company. We really value the people behind partnerships, the people behind partnership programs. We work really hard to figure out what challenges that they're facing, and embed in our features a way to solve those issues. And on top of that, not just solve them, but use them as a platform to even create success from those issues.
Okay. What are the top features of Kiflo?
We actually just rolled out some really exciting features. So the first being workflows. These allow you to automate repetitive tasks to focus your time and energy on more important things, basically, like building stronger relationships with your partners. And those are actually activated by customizable triggers. So that's a new feature that we just rolled out that's really exciting. Second, we have very, very intuitive metrics, and we're adding more and more to those every month. So these are actually going to be directly related to your workflow. And these metrics allow you to get an overview. You can zoom in and zoom out of your program, basically. So you can get an overview of how things are going, but you can also find those partners that maybe are going inactive. Maybe you had a partner that was really active last month, but this month they haven't done anything. You can set up a workflow that allows you to reach out to those partners automatically, make sure that they're staying active and staying motivated. We also have Partner Portal. So this is a one-stop shop for your partners. Not only to do things like lead submissions, deal registrations, we make that super, super easy and intuitive, but also for, the channel manager side to be able to communicate and enable your partners. So sharing content, you can bookmark assets, you can keep track of commissions and payouts, and you can ensure that the onboarding pipeline, which is another important feature, is going well for that partner. So streamlining the onboarding to make sure that the partners have everything that they need to be successful in the program.
Nice. Awesome. That's great. Are SMBs the thing that Kiflo focuses on?
Yeah, so we are sort of the PRM for SMBs, is what we've definitely focused on. Actually, it's kind of cool because Kiflo is so user-friendly, it's so intuitive, and it's so customizable. I think companies of all sizes really can take advantage of it. But it's especially important, I think, for SMBs because we are a great tool that's competing with all of the top industry leaders, but it's a fraction of the price. So we're one of the most affordable and accessible PRMs on the market as well.
What is the pricing?
So our pricing, we really believe in this idea of growing with you. So because of that, we've set up our pricing in 3 different plans. The starter plan is great for those programs that are just getting kicked off. Maybe you have just a couple partners. You're ready to start with a very strong foundation for that program, but you don't want to break the bank again. So the starter plan is great for that. Then the next step, you start to scale. It's called the scale plan, and you can actually pay, per range of partners with the scale plan. So you don't have to pay for that unlimited. If you only have a certain, maybe 25 partners or so, and you just want to be sure to focus on those. And then the unlimited plan is just like it sounds. You get an unlimited amount of partners, and these are for these programs that are really starting to kick up the notch and see some significant growth.
Well explained. Thank you. And can you share with us some of your integrations?
Yeah, of course. So let me just get to the right place here. So our integrations, we have integration with HubSpot and Salesforce. That's definitely the CRMs that we see a lot of our customers using.
Yeah.
And then we do leverage our open API and Zapier for all other integrations. So the key thing to know about Kiflo is that we are a team of cheerleaders for you. Our support team is one of the top ranked. We get awards every year from G2 for our support team, and we always try to accommodate unique needs and use cases for our customers. So if there is something that they need, typically we figure out a way to do that either through the open API or through Zapier.
Awesome. And I'd love to hear some success stories. I saw that you have that on your website, so tell us some stories.
Great. I can send the link to that too, but I've actually had the recent pleasure of getting to interview quite a few customers, and as the head of marketing and partner marketing, it's extremely important for me to know what our customers are talking about, what they're facing, what they're challenging. So one that comes to mind is Effecte.
Okay.
And I spoke to their head of partnerships over there, Timu, and he explained that, again, partnership professionals, this is a big problem that they face. They're constantly having to manage these programs, especially in the beginning stages, through tools like Excel, through tools like email threads. And he knew that he didn't want to do that. So he found Kiflo, and since they've implemented Kiflo into their program, we've helped them get over 50 partners, and I want to say over 25 countries. So not only were they able to really organize and structure their program in a way that makes sense and is scalable for their team, but they were able to expand, they were able to see that success, and they were able to do it on a global scale.
Okay. And how does Kiflo differentiate from other solutions? I know it's quite a competitive market.
It is a very competitive market, but I would say that, so again, you're not just getting a killer tool when you sign up for Kiflo. You're getting a team that wants to see you succeed. So in terms of the technology itself, we are really, all of our features and the ones that are in our roadmap, and we are actually releasing new features every month this year, those features are all working towards our end goal, which is to automate every single process in the partnership journey. So from recruitment to even like an exit strategy, we want it all to be automated so that it frees up space for the people behind these partnerships to do the important thing, which is build strong relationships, identify opportunities, go after, those new creative ideas that are happening in the ecosystem. So we do that in a number of ways, not only through the product itself, but also with the team. You get a support team, many of whom will meet with our customers one-on-one to discuss strategy, to give advice. We also have the Kiflo Academy, which is exclusive courses where you can learn not only how to use our product, but also how to thrive in partnerships in general. And lastly, our content team is amazing. So we have an extremely talented group of content writers who really keep their finger on the pulse of the industry and what's being discussed, strategies that are happening, that are working, that are not working. And we provide a ton of content and resources for both our customers and the wider audience, wider partnership ecosystem.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds awesome. When was the company started?
So the idea was actually thought up by Stephen and Jerome, our founders, in 2018, the beginning of 2018. They realized very quickly that there was a big problem, right? Direct sales teams have CRMs. They have this tool. It's built for them for their
Yeah.
processes specifically. But we see this over and over again. Indirect sales teams struggle. There's even with the options that they have now, they often don't have the buy-in from either executives or the C-suite to have their own tool. So they saw that this was an issue that was happening.
Mhm.
So they started developing. They launched Kiflo later that year. And then even a few months after that, they started getting their first customers. And then quickly it started to kind of snowball. And it actually, interestingly, during COVID, they decided to go remote and go international. And that's when everything really just started skyrocketing. Because even though we are in a little bit of an economic downturn,
Yeah.
I think the landscape that COVID really painted for businesses, this is going to be the landscape that we stay in. We're going to see fully remote companies. We're still going to see small partnership teams in those remote companies. And they need a hub. Those teams need a hub, and they need a hub that's connected to the CRMs and to the other technology that's in the stack. So yeah, it was after 2020 that we really just exploded. They had one person hired, I think, at the beginning of 2020 or 2021. And then now we are a team of 12 and an international team of 12. We have hundreds of customers. We have thousands of users. And we really have become a significant player in this industry.
Awesome. And when did you join the company? In 2021?
I joined December of last year. So it's been a
awesome.
little over a year now, and it's been like a crash course. It's so crazy how much I've learned personally and grown personally since I joined.
And have you raised any funds?
We are 100% bootstrapped, actually.
That's nice to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're like the scrappy little underdog, but we're holding our own in this industry.
What do you think was your best growth tactic for gaining customers?
Our best growth tactic? That's an interesting question. I'd say two things, and maybe I'm a little bit biased as the head of marketing, but firstly, the product speaks for itself. I mean, every person that comes to a demo, they're always impressed by the product. It's a truly, truly great product. And I think it's, like I said, really built with people in mind. So no matter what type of partner program you have, no matter what unique needs your program might have, or even whatever level your partners are on with technology, they are able to use, adopt Kiflo. So I think that's a really big growth tactic, is just having a killer product. I'd say the second thing, and why we've seen so much growth in the past year, is actually our engagement with the community, with the larger partnership ecosystem. And what I mean by that is we are in a very unique industry that really shares and builds up thought leadership. People mentor each other. They are very open and sharing about different strategies. It's extremely important. And we want to participate in that. So we put out a ton of content. We are always willing to meet with other, members of the community who maybe sometimes are our ICP. And we have built a relationship and a reputation with the ecosystem that you can trust us, and maybe we have the answer that you need. And I think that has really just catapulted the brand in the past year, and it's something that we're going to continue to build and work on.
Nice. What's your future vision for Kiflo? What are your future plans?
So I'd say the biggest one, like I said, we want to automate every aspect of the partnership journey.
Yeah.
We also want to be a truly ecosystem-minded tool. So not only automation, but connection. How can we connect with different users, different technology, so that everything is very streamlined for our customer? And also, part of our mission really is to just make these partnership professionals the best version of themselves. We want to see them succeed. So we're going to continue to put out great content, great courses in the Kiflo Academy that can help uplift strategies, and just really help provide the tool that closes the gap that we're seeing in partnership technology.
Yeah, I love that mentality. So you only have success if others have success. If you
That's
help them have
exactly it.
success.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super. What was your biggest challenge since joining the company?
So I'd say that the biggest challenge I'd say that this is probably the biggest challenge that our customers face. So it's therefore the biggest challenge that we face, right?
Okay.
Which is buy-in. And what I mean by this, and I touched on this a little bit before, but I mean not just buy-in from executives. So that is getting the people that sign the checks to believe that their partnership team needs to be supported with a platform, with a PRM platform. HubSpot just recently released their state of partnership ops report at the end of last year. And over 90% of professionals that were surveyed believe that they should be using a partnership technology. That's over 650 people that were surveyed in the partnership community, and they knew that they needed to have a partnership technology. And over 55% of those people that are using partnership technology have seen increased revenue by using it. So it's not a question of if these tools work. It's a question of how can I get the higher ups who maybe don't understand partnerships completely to really wrap their mind around the potential of a partnership program. So that's kind of one aspect of the buy-in. The second big problem is getting the partners buy-in. So if you do happen to get that go ahead from your execs, you buy the product, you implement it, you get it organized. How do you get your partners to adopt the portal? How do you get them to see that this isn't just another partner portal? This isn't just another login that they have to memorize, but actually that this is a place that not only allows them to just do their sort of daily functions, but also can uplift them and enable them, help them succeed. So that's why in our roadmap and in the features that we've been releasing, we're really working on that engagement aspect. So the workflows being automated to reach out to inactive partners or to congratulate really active partners or whatever you need it to look like.
Yeah.
Those are the ways that we're trying to rectify this problem.
That's very interesting. Yeah. I'd love to hear your backstory before joining Kiflo.
My backstory?
Yeah. So how you started your career?
So actually, I think I was going to say I'm a bit of an oddball in this industry, but actually the more and more I talk to partnership folks, they sort of land here out of the blue. So I think maybe I'm not as unique as I think I am. But actually my background, my master's degree and my bachelor's degree are both in English, creative writing, and poetry. So I'm a poet at heart, really. And I was a college professor for a few years, and all through school, always being a really strong writer, I would do freelance work in marketing. Yeah. And so over like the 10 years that I went to school and was trying to pay the bills, I was doing a lot of marketing on the side. And my last full-time job before this one, I was a curriculum writer. I wrote course curriculum for an online university, and I was laid off very suddenly because of all the challenges with COVID. And I realized that I had amassed this knowledge, these skills in marketing, and that maybe I did want to get out of academia, and I was just kind of tired of it. So I started looking, and I found Kiflo. And they really gave me a lot of trust. They really worked to uplift me to make sure that I understood the partnerships industry And like I said, it has been a crash course. I have learned so much over the past year. And I truly believe in the industry itself. I love this idea of partnerships. I love this idea of winning together. And I think it's really going to change how we view success.
Yeah, joining a startup is one of the best ways to learn. So I completely understand how you feel. Yeah. Do you have any tips for starting marketers like you or freelance writers that want to?
Yeah, of course. Actually, one thing comes to mind, and I actually was just talking with a colleague, or not a colleague, but so I'm a community member just recently last week about this. I'd say it doesn't matter if you are a trained marketer. All of that stuff can be learned. There's so much information on the internet. You can teach yourself, KPIs, how to run ads, how to run an ABM strategy. Those kinds of things are very learnable. I'd say that the core of what makes a really good marketer, and especially if you start moving into partner marketing, is being authentic, having a good eye for great content, having a great eye for this is a voice that I need to amplify. This is a cause or a goal that I need to amplify. I'm going to cut the fluff. I don't want fluff. I want real tactical information that is actually going to bring value to our audience. And I think if you can hold on to that, even with all of the pressure of, these different KPIs, these different goals, if you can keep that at the center and be really authentic in that, the results will speak for themselves. People will trust your brand. People will trust your voice. And that's what you need to succeed. Because as we see in this market, as we see in all markets, people are not buying based off of, an ad. They're not buying based off of how many times you pop up on Google. They're buying because somebody is telling them that you are worthy of it, that you are trustworthy, that you have a great product. So how do you enter into that conversation? How do you enter into that community? You have to build trust. And I think a lot of that is just knowing, okay, this content actually has to do something great for the people that read it.
Yeah, excellent piece of advice. And I have one last question. What's your favorite software apart from Kiflo?
Of course, apart from Kiflo. Favorite software, I'd say HubSpot, obviously, that's the no-brainer. We use it ourselves.
I wanted to say apart Kiflo and HubSpot, but
and apart from HubSpot. Okay, so we'll put that to the side, but HubSpot,
okay, another one.
Zapier is a great one.
Yeah.
Zapier is really such an incredible tool. Like the amount that we and its users are able to accomplish with it and it sometimes can get a little technical, but really in terms of integration, it's not so bad. And so we really love Zapier. And then I'd say Reveal, is another must have. What they're doing over there is pretty incredible, and it's making possibility for scaling and finding new opportunities. It's there's nothing really like it. And then lastly, I'd say in terms of like team organization, we really love Notion. We use Front for our emails, which is great to be able to communicate and stay in contact, especially if you're a remote team. And then last up, I'd say Woodpecker. That has really been useful for us in terms of, reaching out to potential customers, potential partners, having those campaigns, those really easy to use and customizable campaigns for marketing.
Awesome. That's awesome. Is there anything else that you want to tell us today on the podcast?
Not that I can think of. I think you covered all the bases.
Okay. Super happy to hear that. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for the value you shared.
Thank you so much, Christian. It was a pleasure.